everyone, it is great to see you here once again on Dee's Delights. Tonight we're going to be making Wacky Cake. I've heard of Wacky Cake, I've never made it, and it says here Wacky Cake is made without any eggs or dairy, making it wacky. Interesting. It says it's also been a cake that's been around since the Depression era when ingredients were scarce. Who knew? Who would have thunk it? Well, today that's what we're going to make. First, we're going to start with the cake, then we'll make the frosting. So what you're going to need for this recipe is 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of sugar, 1/2 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons of vinegar, which is a little unusual, 3/4 cups of vegetable oil, and 2 cups of water. I have all of my ingredients over the countertop. I'm ready to go. Go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Now the first step here is unusual for me. It says add the flour, sugar, cocoa powder, baking soda, and salt to an ungreased 9 by 13 inch baking pan and gently whisk to combine. Spread mixture evenly in pan. Normally I have a separate bowl, but heck, let's go with the way the recipe says. So we'll go ahead and put our 3 cups of flour in the 9 by 13 pan, our 2 cups of sugar, our 1/2 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, I always use Hershey's, our 2 teaspoons of baking soda, and our 1 teaspoon of salt. So let's go ahead and whisk those together. Make sure you get everything mixed in there really good. Next, we're going to make 3 wells in the dry ingredient, 1 larger and 2 smaller. So I'm going to spread this out first. I'm going to put the larger one in the center and the smaller ones off to the side. Now, I don't know how big large is supposed to be. It doesn't say. So I'm just going to put like 2 little ones here. Kind of make like 2 eyes and a big nose. I don't know if you can see that or not. It says add the oil in the large well. Well, that's 3/4 cup, so I might make my well just a wee bit bigger. The oil's in like all over. And add the vanilla and the vinegar in the other 2 wells. So here's our vinegar. And our vanilla is going to go with some of the oil. And then it says pour the water over the entire pan of ingredients, and then we're going to whisk those together. So we'll pour the water over. Now we're going to whisk this together. I'll have to see if this makes a difference of doing it this way instead of just mixing it up in a bowl. Can anyone help me out there? Make sure you scrape the bottom to get all the dry ingredients off the bottom. One great thing about making a homemade cake is you usually have all the ingredients in your cabinet. It says gently combine everything. Get a spoon in there too. Get around the corners. Looks a little bit thicker than regular cake. Very good indeed. That's really excellent, actually. I'm gonna wipe off the side since I made a mess. Next, we're to bake it for 25 to 30 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the middle comes out clean. So we're gonna allow the cake to cool totally, then we'll make the frosting. So off to the oven it goes. I'll start it at 25 minutes, see what happens. I don't think that's going to be enough time, but who knows? It's called Wacky Cake. It might be. My cake took 35 minutes to bake at 350 degrees. That's about what I thought it would take. So if yours takes less, I know it's not going to get done at 25 minutes. So I would say 30 to 35, maybe a little longer depending on your oven. So what we're going to do next is make the frosting. Now that our cake has totally cooled, now we make the frosting. So for the frosting, you're going to need 11 tablespoons of unsalted butter, which would be 1 stick plus 3 tablespoons, 6 tablespoons of milk, 5 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder, 4 cups of powdered sugar, sifted. I don't have a sifter, so I'm just gonna whisk it a little bit. 1½ teaspoons of vanilla extract and a pinch of salt, which is gonna be about 1/8 of a teaspoon. For the frosting, add the butter, milk, and cocoa powder to a small saucepan and cook over medium-low heat. So I'm gonna cut the butter into chunks. We'll pour the 6 tablespoons of milk and the 5 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder. And you'll cook that over medium-low heat, stirring often until the mixture comes to a simmer. Okay, that's soon going to come to a simmer, so I'm going to go ahead and sift my flour. Technically I'm whisking it, but that's going to have to do. All right, it's starting to bubble a little bit, so I'm going to remove it from the heat. I'll stir that around. It says remove the pan from the heat and whisk in the powdered sugar, vanilla extract, and salt. Once I get the sugar mixed in, I'm going to go ahead and put my salt and vanilla extract in. And then we are to immediately ice the cake, because this is going to start to get firmer once it sits. 1 pinch of salt, which is 1/8 of a teaspoon, and 1½ teaspoons of vanilla extract, which is 1/2 tablespoon. Yeah, I can tell it's starting to thicken already. I'm going to pour that over the cake. So don't wait too long. All right, I'm going to let that firm up. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. My gosh almighty. Be still my heart. This is going to be wonderful. Doug, I don't know if I'm going to be able to have a wacky cake in the house.
I don't know why you keep making that stuff. It's always necessary to have a cleanup crew. I'm pretty efficient at doing the dishes,
You are indeed.
as you can see.
Okay, now that we've let the cake cool for 3 minutes, Doug and I will try a little teeny piece. All right, Mr. Miller. Stop! Cut it out! Go sit down. Oh, you turd. Okay, come try a piece. This is your piece. Oh my. Look how fantabulous that looks. That's good stuff right there.
I hope you're giving all this away.
Oh my, that is excellent. You know what? I think I can freeze it, Doug, just like any other cake. I'm going to freeze it into single serving sizes. Give some to Mom and Dad.
You'll be having cake for breakfast,
Oh, I would.
cake for supper.
I tell you what, I would thaw that out and have it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Very good.
Very good. Now, if you don't want to make this frosting, you can use whatever frosting you want. But I tell you what, I definitely would recommend this frosting. Definitely. It's a no-brainer right here. So thanks for joining us here once again on Dee's Delights. Hope you have a fabulous week, everyone. See you soon. Oh my gosh, that is good. Doug, you're so weird.